Did we start yet?
Yes. Welcome
to another episode
of Driving to the Res
with your favorite hosts,
Larry
and
Inelia.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
that was... You said my name right.
I did.
Good job. You have the perfect amount of Latino in you.
8 years. It's going to grow eventually, right?
Yes. It is indeed.
Okay. So
interesting things have been happening.
Things have been happening in the newsies.
Yes.
Things that you told us about.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard it twice now brought up.
Yes.
And I've been sitting on the sidelines going, okay.
And you can see the bits coming in, right? The seedings and stuff.
I can see them coming. I can see the bits. I can see the bits more.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it kind of took a turn for the a lot bits. Although it's still, I didn't watch like CNN or the big news or any of that stuff, even though more people watch other things than that. So I don't know exactly how widespread it is, but it seemed like I was watching the White House and the Premier of Canada, both of them speaking about this.
Mm-hmm. And the Chinese
and
government.
The Chinese
too.
government, all of them.
Yeah.
And who knows, by now, might even be more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it seems like
it's
cranking
up. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get more. I think when we and what we're talking about is disclosure-y thingies.
ETs.
And ETs and UFOs and things, yeah. when we think about that disclosure thing, we think about it. It only counts if the government says it,
I've always wondered about that.
And
I think it's part of that narrative, right? That hijacked narrative. The government has to say it. If the government should say it, and it's the government, they have to say it right now. Because then they validate whatever the government says. Right? Because
clearly the government is our source of all truth. They're never compromised in any way by their own, agendas.
Right. Of course.
Although, and despite, I think the general desire is that even they can't deny it. I think that's...
They will try. They will try.
Well, they're not going to try now. They're just changing it.
Yeah.
Well, not even changing it. They're just doing what you said.
Yeah.
Did you tell them what to do?
No.
Okay.
I just stepped into what they're going to do.
Okay.
That's their agenda.
So, tell me what you've written here.
From February 10th, 2023 forward, there have been official government reports of military jets shooting down UFOs.
F-22s.
Okay.
Yeah.
The airspace over Montana was also shut down due to radar anomalies. By the time you read this, there will be more about these incidents on the mass media and alternative news outlets too. With other things in the sky, and why are the governments of major countries admitting to shooting them down? And how is it relevant to our mission? Our mission on Earth. How is that relevant?
I hope you tell me.
A reminder of our mission.
Yeah, what is our mission?
Yes. We
high
frequency beings are here to express our true frequency in this world.
Which is high frequency.
And have that frequency reflected back to us in the form of high frequency experiences in the physical universe. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the mission.
I remember you had to say it 3 or 4 times before I could remember it.
Yeah, that's
but
the
now
mission.
I kind of like have taken it on board as, oh yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mentioned both in looking at 2022 and in looking at 2023 that there would be a big UFO reveal by the government. Not an overnight disclosure, but a slow build-up of aliens are real type material, culminating and snowballing into a new reason to subjugate the population of Earth.
Well, governments are about control.
Yes.
It'd be no big surprise, right?
Yes.
The big surprise would be if they didn't.
Yes, but that's coming.
Okay.
The reveal contains words that have been constantly seeded through mass media, such as an abundance of caution, or...
Oh, that one drives me crazy.
I know that one, right? Aerial threat, or danger, or interference with safety, or foreign spy balloons.
Yeah.
A slow and simmering energy of fear that is being spread when thinking of UFOs.
Fear and outrage too. It's like outrageous. How can they dare be floating a balloon over my house?
And you know what? This fear and the aliens are evil and all that type of stuff has been seeded through multiple movies since we were little, right?
And the music.
And music, yeah.
Yeah, remember it.
Yeah.
Recently there was a UFO song. Katy Perry or one of them singing about having the aliens
That's right.
go into her body and take her over and things.
Yeah. And then she had like red fiery eyes.
Yes.
So, interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. Okay. In my scene, I mentioned that any type of disclosure from official governmental agency had to be taken with a pinch of salt. You need to realize that everything they say about UFOs is false. Everything. Whether they say it is a foreign balloon, while at the same time releasing information from their pilots who say it was moving fast, was solid, and had no propulsion technology, their narrative will be filled with fear and threat of war. And we've seen quite a lot of that, haven't we?
Well, yeah, as I blame it on a foreign government, of course. And then they say, well, we can't explain it. So the foreign government is the UFOs. Yeah, they do both.
They do both. They say,
so
it's just a balloon from China.
And it's a UFO.
Or it's a balloon from the USA. And at the same time, they release other statements from the pilots and stuff. That thing was solid, it had no propulsion, it moved so fast and went at right angles, really speedy. And yeah. In my scene, wait. Okay, so what are these things? Some of them are indeed craft from other civilizations. The ones they're shooting down are from our civilization. They're flying them in the sky and then shooting them down.
So like target practice.
Yeah. This creates two things. One, they can now admit to unidentified flying objects because they won't be able to hide them soon. And two, they can control the narrative and appear to be powerful. They can shoot these objects down.
And probably they didn't tell the F-22 pilot, hey, it's our thing, shoot it down. They just told him, there's a strange thing, go get it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's part of it's not like he's in on the game.
No, they're not in the game. Not those. Now, let's play pretend. Shall we play pretend, honey? Remember that when I say let's play pretend,
okay,
it's a tool to expand our awareness to possibilities we have not previously explored. Whether these possibilities are actual or fantasies is irrelevant. We're just pretending, after all.
Okay,
here goes. Imagine for a minute what we know of Earth and its vast spaces is built but a small island on a much larger planet. And that on that larger planet there are different experiences being lived that are strictly defined by the awareness of and frequency of the people in them.
So what you're saying is everything that we see as Earth is actually just a part of a much bigger Earth?
Yes.
And we're like a little honeycomb on that much bigger place?
Yes, like an island.
Or like an island.
Mm-hmm.
Like an island that it's so big that we don't even know it's an island.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of an island.
Yep.
But it's still small compared to the vastness of this place that the island's in.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I can imagine that.
All right, good. As we choose the light experience,
mm-hmm.
Now imagine that we're having a split of experience on our part of that larger planet. The island of light-dark experience is now splitting into a light island and a light-dark island.
Somebody's got to move.
Mm-hmm.
Or is the island going to split down the middle?
One or the other.
Kind of like remember when you see cells divide and it goes...
Yeah. I wonder what that actually is.
Yeah, that's interesting pictures.
Yeah, I don't actually have a clear definition of how it looks. When I used to test it out and think, is it a new timeline? I used to get a no. Is this timeline where it's splitting? And when I used to think of it as a different dimension, I'd get a no. but they were very similar to both. So it's like we try to explain things from our own perspective and vision of the universe, and it becomes very complicated, right? Very quickly.
I think probably experiential telepathy-wise, we could explain it easier, more accurately, but by word-wise, you could think of it like split or separate islands. You can imagine it that way.
Yeah.
You could imagine it's slightly a different dimension, but it's not actually true because it's really a different construct, space.
A perception of the construct.
A perception of the same construct, space, an agreement and agreement to whatever's, all the people who think this way, we're going to live together. Kind of a...
That's right, yeah.
All right.
As we choose the light experience, raise our own frequency, the entirety of the collective we're part of, and right now we're part of the light-dark collective, expands its awareness. In other words, we can see more. Imagine that as we allow our awareness to expand, we're able to see and perceive the technology from those civilizations that are outside of the light-dark constraints. Imagine that this is a known fact, and a fact that has always created a snowballing effect of awareness. Imagine, now, that billions of people on Earth decided they do not want to expand their awareness in this direction. What are they going to do with the fact that objects are going to appear in their skies and they're no longer blind to them? They can no longer be blind to them.
So since they can no longer be blind to them, the light-dark part of the government is putting ones there to see that they can shoot down.
They have to explain it in a light-dark paradigm way.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay, got it. Because a light paradigm ship, it's not going to have an agreement for being shot anyway.
Exactly. You got it. Got it. Exactly. What narrative is the one we're meant to carry out?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I went forward too long. Okay, so the objects that appear in the skies and they can no longer be blind to them. A narrative of fear is what will keep them away from those objects and their true nature. The ones that were going to be appearing more and more. The ones that don't get shut down.
I get it.
In the videos of 2022 and 2023, where I mentioned the governmental alien agenda, I also mentioned that when you hear and see these things, all you need to do is to make popcorn and watch the show. I also mentioned that they would use these sightings as a way to explain away massive amounts of unprecedented cases of sickness and death around the world, and that we must not fall for that narrative in any way or form. Okay?
They definitely tried it on with everything. It's like too much happiness, too much sadness, too much cold, too much heat, too much aliens. Too much aliens is going to do it too. Okay.
Okay. So we've seen what they're going to be doing and why, right? They want to keep their light-dark experience going. They need to be fearful around everything. Now they're seeing things in the sky. They have to believe that their things are evil and that their government is going to protect them by shutting them down. They also will be told to stay indoors, not go out, and all sorts of things. Okay? And maybe the alien death race, they've been talking about alien death race forever, right? That's being seeded.
Yeah.
It's being seeded. Okay. We've seen all that. What are they doing? But what's important to me is what narrative is the one that we are meant to carry out, and how do we do it? Okay?
Okay.
The narrative we're here to carry out is one of expanded awareness, inspiration, health, longevity, high-frequency experiences, nurturing of our young and old. You know the narrative. You know it. You're familiar with it. You feel it in your bones.
That's right.
And this is how we do it.
This is how we do it. Our job is not to, become engaged in, oh my gosh, look, we're going to shoot down UFOs.
Right. Or that it is aliens, or foreign government is alien, evil, or whatever it is. Yeah.
That we should
they got death rays.
Yeah. That's not our job.
That's not our job. Okay, so
although we can watch.
We can watch it. It's not going to be invisible.
Yeah.
So here's how we do it. Our agenda. 1.
Raise our frequency.
Yes.
Which translates into not fear.
Yes.
First, It's easy to say.
Right.
Not fear.
Not fear.
Not fear
Process your fear.
or the things that are related to fear,
Mm-hmm.
not those.
Don't engage in those. Don't indulge in those. Don't go there. Don't do it. And if your body starts feeling afraid, you can support your body in so many ways. We have hundreds of articles, right?
Hundreds of techniques.
Techniques in IneliaBenz.com. Go there. You're going to find it.
There's processes.
Yes.
There's meditation.
We have everything.
There's exercises.
Yes.
There's 900 exercises, something like that.
A ton. And also, there's other things. Other people are creating very high frequency music and other items that you can use. So we have it.
Raise your frequency.
Yes.
Okay, got
raise
it.
Your frequency. 2, expand our awareness.
Right. Recognize when you're, pinched off.
Mm-hmm. What's the fastest and easiest way to expand your awareness, darling?
Fastest and easiest way?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's largely personal.
No, it isn't. It's the opposite of personal. It's the opposite.
I think it's largely personal.
It's the opposite of personal. It's the opposite of personal. It's about connection. And it's about having a group of people that you discuss things with that are of high frequency and willing to expand their awareness. Yes.
I think I'd go off by myself and figure it out.
Exactly. That's the wrong thing to do, babe. That's the wrong thing to do.
Expand your awareness is
into your
not
own.
The lone wolf.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
One of the ways in which we are expanding our awareness, obviously, we do it because we have massive tribes now in Walk With Me Now, in Substack, in Subscribe Star, and in Telegram, where people can just go in and look at the subjects and boom, they explode into expanded awareness, all of us, right? For all of us. But we're also going into really talking and discovering things in our Substack essays, which we just began, called Woo for Thought.
Woo for Thought.
Which is definition of expansion of awareness. Yes. Okay. 3. Be willing to be part of a much larger experience of Earth than what we have been taught in school.
Yes.
And if you don't want to go there, you can just play pretend for now. Just play pretend.
Yeah.
What would it be like if this was true?
Yeah.
That we're part of a much, much larger human collective on Earth than we know. Okay. 4. Know that only frequency dictates our experience. So be diligent, and if we do feel stress over these stories, we process that stress, and we have a tool for processing our stress. You can find it at the stressreliefexercise.com website.
That's pretty good.
Share it.
Share it.
Share it.
Maybe there'll be a link to share it in our newsletter.
Yes. And it's got the right amount of woo, which is very little, that you can share with everybody you know.
Anyone who has stress in their life.
Anybody who has stress in their lives, you can send them that website.
That's easy.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. 5. Know that as the incidence of objects in the sky increases, that we can scan their frequency. If their frequency is low and aggressive, or they can be shot down, it is an object from our government. If its frequency is non-invasive, then it's part of a larger reality. Okay? Like Larry mentioned, if something is going to be shot down, it's already a low frequency something, and that is by our low light dark paradigm creators, which are the only low frequency creators, I think, like what we call them on Earth. So guaranteed, it's part of the governmental technological agenda.
Yeah, process to keep
people in fear.
People in fear for the purpose of control.
Yeah, control.
And, recruitment.
And sleepy, and their awareness shrank, right?
Right. Not the victim of a government program, but hey, our government's here to save us and protect us. Thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Exactly, yeah.
For those who need that.
Yeah. 6. And the most important tool on Earth. Us. You, me, you, he. Us, right?
Me.
And in particular, you're it. We are the volunteers who came here to embody the true light frequency of humanity on Earth. Let's do our job. Boom.
It's quite funny because I can imagine. Well, it feels like a whole bunch of Chicken Littles running around with their head cuts off, ah, screaming and running, and you're sitting there going,
"This guy's not falling down.
It's quite all right, guys."
It's just a."
And then they'll look at you and they go like, either they'll go, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to look at. She's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly actually fine.
And when you hear all this information, the actual information with data behind it, and you get that resonance, like, I felt something odd, and this information feels true. You can truth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, there's something about it, you know? And when you look at the whole space opera that they're going to be putting on show in the main outlets and a lot of the alternative media.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they'll glomp onto this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna see. You feel it. You feel it. Okay, you can feel it. The nature of it all. Yeah.
So, it's part of this experience, in my mind, aligns with what you accept in as data that is factual, based on facts that are data. The spinning of data, making it facts, right? Mm-hmm. So the government, the military, the whatever, with the great sensors and everything, are going to have plenty of data that will prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that these things are from a planet that isn't ours. Mm-hmm. It's like that's like extraterrestrial, right? Mm-hmm. And it's sent here probably like a drone to collect data for nefarious purposes, most likely.
Nefarious, absolutely.
Right,
yeah.
Collecting data so that they can, who knows, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they have a testing, right? They're testing different devices to see what's going to have the most impact on people. Mm-hmm. So you got to stay out of the, whatever.
Right.
And we'll be running these programs to, protect us, and we're going to get them. And Independence Day, the movie.
Yes.
All over again-ish.
Yes.
Right. And your eyes are going to show you things. Yeah. Right? Because there's a good show going on. You watched movies before. Mm-hmm. If you watch a movie that's playing outside, not on the TV, somehow that movie is more real than the movie on the TV, right? Mm-hmm. Even if the movie outside the TV isn't any more real, it still can, the data will make you think it's real.
Right.
It's only like I could see it as being completely able to be so convincing, you have to be crazy not to believe it.
Right.
But we could say that over the last couple of years also.
Yes,
you have to be crazy not to believe what's going on.
Yeah.
No matter what data shows one way or the other way. Mm-hmm. Both ways will have data to show how
crazy
factual
the other one is.
and crazy the other one is, right?
Yeah.
So the things to do are no different than the things that we've been doing. Mm-hmm. It's still the same thing.
Like
right?
What?
Raise your frequency, expand your awareness, find your tribe, and stay connected.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then...
And make popcorn.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
Well,
what does it mean?
What does it mean, watch the show?
It means that it's a movie. It's pretend. It's not real.
Well, it's as real as anything else.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, what do we mean by real? It has a script. It has physical things. It has missiles. It has explosions. It has death and dying. It has screaming and torture. Movie, right? It has hiding and all the drama associated with.
It's a movie. Yeah.
So it's a real movie, but it's still a movie.
It's a movie.
It's not like they said something that didn't happen at all. It's like something happened, but they applied a narrative to it that leads you down a path.
Exactly. Yes.
So it's real things happening with real things in airplanes, right? Not completely like a movie.
Right.
Like graphics on a computer.
Well,
Although
there will be that. Yeah, there will be that
I
too.
guarantee you there will be.
Yes, there will be that too. Yes.
I can't wait to see what the creatures look like if they get any.
Oh, of course. They probably look like greys, I would say.
Don't they need to have reptilians?
I don't know if they can, but
something's more sinister-y looking.
Maybe more scary.
Maybe.
Like the ones in the movies they've shown is like, you know, like the movie Alien like with Predator, all the tentacles. Yeah.
And two mouths inside, the one that comes out inside the other one.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And dribbly poison. They're not going to go that far, are they?
We don't know. People still think there was a landing on the moon that looked like people walking in their suits. And...
I know. I mean, that you got to look at that. The thing that it's like there are some things that just throws like a big monkey wrench in it when you actually hear it. It's like with 9/11, right? Yes. When there was 3 giant buildings that fell down and there was only 2 airplanes. Yeah. And they go like, oh, wait a minute. Then.
And they fell down like the typical explosion
when you see them fall down straight, you go like, But when you find out there was 3 of them and not 2 of them, but only 2 airplanes, well, 2 airplanes, whatever.
Yeah.
Then that gives you the, wait a minute, how could 3 fall down?
Right.
If there was only supposed to be 2 planes, then how did the 3rd one fall down?
Yeah. I mean, all the data is there. You can go
like
there.
Opens the door and then you go look and you go like, well,
because
crying
it has
out
to be
loud.
done with full disclosure. Okay, it has to be done with full disclosure. It can't just be all hidden. It's not. The data is there for others to also look and see what is actually happening.
Right. So when you see that, you go, that's mighty suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then on other things, there's like, all of a sudden, there's a 0 flu. But, you think, well, how could that have been 0?
Yeah.
Everything turned to something else?
Yeah.
Something's fishy going on here. So
and
it opens the door and you start scratching at it.
That's and you can look. You can look.
Yeah, the same with the UFO thingy.
Yes.
There will be something that will be, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And, that's enough.
One of the things that might be interesting to see is whether YouTube and other media outlets that are supposedly for the people start censoring information about the true nature of those UFOs that they have so-called shut down, right? Wouldn't that be interesting if that happened?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, I wonder, the first videos that come out, I wonder what they'll look like.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see. We're just right at the
beginning of it.
We had the pre-beginning. The pre-beginning was the seeding, right? Yes. The seeding of the reality. That happened over the last decades. And now we've gone through a thing. And the thing is, it's becoming less steerable, right?
Yeah.
The thing that has been. So now we need to pivot into the thing that will be. And the will be is just starting.
Yeah.
Feels like that. Feels like that to me.
Right. And the control of the masses is a fickle tool. The masses are fickle. So there's plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, all the entire alphabet plans to keep the masses in a very specific narrative of fear and control and power over others. But the masses are fickle and they keep changing their mind and all these things happen. So they just keep jumping from discourse to discourse and to see narrative from one narrative to another to see which one catches. And if one catches a little bit, they run with it, right? So that's part of the thing about, invisible enemies and things like that, because they don't have to do much and they can prove it very easily and they will push it to the max to create fear. And if people become subjugated through fear and stress, they win in those people. And it's our job not to be subjugated through fear and stress. It's our job to step out of that. It's our job to really embody our true frequencies. Right? That's why we came here. That's why we're here. Right?
Yeah, I think we'll be exploring that a little bit in our reincarnation class.
Yes.
The why we're here,
Yeah.
here. That's coming up pretty soon, right?
Actually, it probably already did.
It's very
by
close.
the time this
Did or
gets
it's
aired.
coming.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm recalling, there's a couple of things that I want to bring up before I forget, and they're sort of related, and maybe edges of related. One of them was the fickle nature of real and the excuses that we sometimes make to make the not real stick a little bit. Like I was listening to a Crow 777.
He's one of our favorite podcasters.
Yeah, he expands our awareness.
Yeah.
Because he talks in interesting topics and about things that you don't think about. It's like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you haven't thought of.
We agree with some things, we disagree with some others, but at least it's different viewpoints, right?
All these viewpoints. Yeah. One of the more recent ones, he was exploring one of the things that I often wondered about, it was why this live album, the live play, the live concert, the music kind of sucked.
Oh, you mean musical
compared to the album? Yeah, the album, I like the music on the album so much, and then I listen to them singing live, and I go like,
it's so bad.
What is going on?
Yeah.
How did what? And the excuse is always that you have all these extra equipment in the
and it's live and it's not synced and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and it's their filter or what, I don't know what. They got all kinds of excuses why it's so much better in the studio than they can sing live. But it turns out most of them weren't singing or playing their music in the studio. They have a different band that does all that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It is true. What is that? Anyways.
Well, it's like the belief in this little story. This little story is studio albums are better because XYZ.
And the reality
and the live band isn't quite so good because of XYZ. But the truth is the live band and the studio band are two different people.
Yeah.
They're not even the same.
Yeah.
With, rare exceptions.
With rare exceptions, yeah.
And so it's essentially that this group who's steering mass thought and feeling isn't even capable of that. It's somebody else doing it, manipulating and making this thing behind the scenes, telling you it's that. And you're believing it. And then despite what your ears and your eyes show you, geez, they're really not that good. You still believe they are that good. It's just somewhere else they're that good. You know what I mean? It's like you can buy it. That's how easy you can buy it. But when you see, it's like seeing the magic trick, right?
Yes.
So that's basically what we're talking about. You expand your awareness. You see the magic trick. When you see the magic trick done, you literally cannot pretend you didn't see it anymore. You know what happens. This is like that.
It is, yeah.
This is like the band and the music. This is like, those things. And the other thing was, had to do with a fellow I was watching on his near-death experience, fell in a barge.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he was dead for half an hour.
Dead.
He was dead for half an hour. His mates, they didn't even think that he was, call the ambulance to help him. He was like,
dead.
Forget it. He's not breathing. There's no heart. There's blood everywhere. And he fell 30 feet on his face. It's like, he's dead.
Half his head smashed.
They just pull him out of there with a crane, put him in the office. And he looked at his watch when he died. Before he fell off the ladder thing. So he knew what time it was. And then he knew what time he returned to his body because, again, he saw the clock. So it was 35 minutes or so that he was gone.
Yeah.
And while he was gone, he went to where his source is. The source of his soul, I would say. When we say soul, what we mean?
Yep.
Oh, you know what we mean.
Yeah.
Can you say it in a way that everyone knows what we mean?
Well, the human person is created by two beings. One of them is a very solid being, which we call a body. And the other one is a very subtle being, which we call a soul. They have the same nature or physicality, but one is more dense than the other.
Right. And in a physical body, which the one that we interact in physical reality, this physical Earth, island Earth, that body is affected by our soul body.
Yes, very much.
Very much so. It's like
a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
So his soul body comes from a source. Same as yours, same as people who are listening. Everyone's soul comes from somewhere. It doesn't just like appears out of nowhere.
Right.
And that place that he comes from, he was able to describe in an interesting way, and you could relate to how he was describing it. And you felt like, wow, that is familiar. That's nice. I understand that. I conceive of that. This is a reality it was a light reality. This fellow's from a light source. And, the nature of everything was light, right? And the emotions and the thoughts and the communications was all light. Experiential telepathic. And it was all light, and there wasn't any fears there wasn't any low frequency at all. That didn't exist. It wasn't even a conception to exist in a sense. And that's his true nature. And I can't remember the why or the why exactly, but he went back, got sent back, or however you think about it, came back into his body. And it was like, holy moly. But with it came the realization that was that light beingness in here was why he was here, and that was the purpose. His purpose is just to be light here. Because it's already light there. Be light here.
Embody his true frequency.
Have it reflected back to him and experience this exactly.
Yes.
So, it was very nice. It's nice to hear these confirmations in a way from people who aren't using or having the same listen to our podcast, for example, or taking a class with us. Have that same experience, be able to reflect what they say. Here. It's pretty cool.
It is.
If I find a link to that, I'll share it in the notes or something with Inelia.
Yes, that'll be good.
Other
people can listen to it too.
And it resonated with me in a way, and in the way that I say resonated, I could understand what he's saying because I'm also ocean fella working on boats, and that's his life. He's an ocean guy working on tugboats in Alaska fishing, and a light source, right? So there was plenty to latch on for me to be able to hear him well.
Yes.
And if you have a problem hearing, then look for someone who reflects your life. And then listen to their experience of that. You might find it. And take our reincarnation class.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, that's all I gotta say.
It's brilliant. I love it. Isn't it a great way to finish this podcast too, I think.
Oh, good.
Love you, honey.
I'm not saying that it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Make sure to join us for part 2, where we will expand the conversation. We look at Roswell and the Dulce base, hybrids, clones, reptilians, conscious technology, and these are just to mention a few of them.
And we touch again on the true nature of planet Earth, which is neither flat nor round.
See you in part 2.
Bye.